Hi, and welcome to another edition of Collectibles Chat. I'm Steve Zarelli. I want to review a couple books that I purchased years ago from my personal collection, and I'm going to send them in for grading. These comic books have really spiked up in value recently, and I think you'll probably recognize both of them. The first book is Fantastic Four number 49, the first Galactus cover. When I bought this book, it was not a key, it was nothing special. I probably got this around 10 years ago on eBay, and it's one of those rare finds where you purchase it on eBay and you receive it and it's actually in much better grade than you were anticipating. The seller really undersold this book, and I remember getting it thinking, wow, this is a lot better than I was anticipating, and I got it at a fantastic price. Recently this has been deemed some sort of classic cover, the first Galactus cover, and it has shot up in price exponentially. So I thought, well, I've read it a number of times, I know the story, and let's send it in to get graded to see where it lands. The second book that I'm sending in kind of falls into the same category. When I bought it, it was not considered a key book, but it is now, and it has shot up in value also exponentially, and that's Journey into Mystery 85, the first appearance of Loki, Thor's arch nemesis and brother. I purchased this book from Quality Comics, Brent Moshlin, a super reputable seller. I buy from Quality Comics all the time, and I can't recommend them high enough, and he has really tight grading. The issue with this, though, is that it came slabbed by what I would call an off-brand company, to put it kindly. This was initially slabbed by a company called CG Group, and it's a fine 6.5. It's not a fine 6.5. I think it was overgraded. I'm not blaming Brent. A lot of dealers tried this company when it first came out. This is the company that has since turned into PGX. Not a reputable company, in my opinion. They have many, many problems. And I'm not talking about grading issues or inconsistencies. I'm talking about issues where books with undisclosed trimming and restoration have been found. In fact, I was burned pretty badly myself way back in the day before all the stuff was uncovered about this company. I had a Journey into Mystery 89, a classic Thor cover, that I got, and it didn't look quite right to me. I cracked it out, submitted it to a more reputable grading company, and it came back trimmed. As it would turn out, I bought it from an eBay seller named Terrence Leader, and it turned out this guy Terrence had inside connections at PGX, and many people seem to think that he was an insider getting inside grades, and many of the books sold by this Letter character turned out to be trimmed years later. Of course, the PGX label made no note of the trimming. This book is not trimmed, it's not restored. I bought it from a good source, but I'm just saying that PGX or its predecessor company is completely worthless in my opinion. Not a reputable grading company. So let's take a closer look at the books. Looking at the Fantastic Four number 49, it's a super clean, bright book. The corners look fantastic. There's no real creasing whatsoever. A little wear on the spine, but nothing significant. You have the pencil date right there, the arrival date. Looking on the inside, really clean and nice looking book. Probably off-white pages. The staples are clean. No significant issues whatsoever. Looking at the back cover, again, really clean, nice corners, no creases. No stains, no rippling. The only real issue with this book is there's a little crease there on the overhang that you can see, like a little thumb crease or a little crease from the overhang. It's really hard to see. I don't know if it's going to show up in the video, but otherwise a super nice book. I would think this would be a slam dunk 9.0, maybe even a 9.2, but with this little crease and line there, I'm thinking probably around an 8.5. This book has never been pressed, It doesn't need to be. Pressing would do nothing to improve this. And my philosophy is that I'm not one of these collectors that just presses everything before submission. Maybe if it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. There's nothing here to correct. This is the prevailing flaw right there, and pressing is not going to fix that fine little line crease there. So I really don't know what they're going to do with this. I would think it's an 8.5, but I don't think 9.0 is out of the question. Or if they were really having a bad day, maybe an 8.0. So my guess is 8.5 is where this is going to land. Really nice book. The Journey into Mystery 85. Now, the first appearance of Loki, a really great book to have. I bought this probably around 15 years ago from Brent, as I mentioned, and it's in pretty good shape. You have some minor ticks on the spine, nothing too significant, and I did have this book pressed. So I don't know if the pressing would really improve the technical grade, but it had a little bit of waviness to it, some little bit of dirt on the back cover, so I had it cleaned and pressed, and it came out really nice. It appears much better now, but the issue with this is that it has a very light crease right here in the corner, which has been pressed flat, but the crease still has a little bit of color break to it. So I think that'll be the prevailing flaw that will keep this from going above a certain level. Corners are decent, nice gloss. The back cover is really nice as well. It does have another light crease right there, again, which has been pressed flat, but you can see it, it's there. A tiny amount of color break. There's also a little bit of a tear on an interior page, which you can see right there, and you can see it right there on this the page behind it. But otherwise, it's in really good shape. It's got nice shiny staples, and the page color is actually pretty good. I don't know if that's going to be white, but not bad at all. So my estimate is that this is probably going to land around 6.0, maybe 6.5. The issue is that this crease and the little, the small thumb tear on the inside page is there. That's going to keep it from going above a certain level. I just don't think it's going to hit a 7 with those flaws. Without those flaws, I think it's a slam dunk 7.0, maybe even a 7.5. But it is what it is. It has the flaws and they can't go away. So I'm hoping for a 6.0. 6.5 would thrill me. And quite honestly, I can't see it really going below a 6.0. It's a pretty clean, presentable book. And I don't think these flaws would push it below 6. So there you have it. 2 keys from my collection that I'm looking forward to seeing how they grade out. I'll get them in the mail within the next day or two. And at this level, they should pass through fairly quickly. I know the grading companies are really backed up significantly at this time, but at this price level that this is going to be, it's going to be one of the levels that goes through pretty quickly. I think I'm going to send it to CBCS and see where it lands. So we will have the unboxing as soon as I get them back.